when I tried making a starter out of it. Didn't work. So I had dud yeast, but, aside from that,
that doesn't count, because you can get dud yeast, I mean.
Yeah, it happens, but, okay, maybe my fermentations didn't finish, but I like them sweet anyway.
Yeah, me too.
They may not have gone as far as they could have, but they still went.
I'm not 100% sure of is, should a newbie make a 5-gallon batch or a 1-gallon batch? Because I don't know if a 1-gallon batch is more volatile due to the small volume.
I think it's more volatile.
Yeah.
It's the temperature swings is gonna be more extreme. That's probably the biggest thing that I would say a bigger batch will ebb and flow with the temperature fluctuations in your house a lot slower than a single gallon.
Yeah, well, the first batch I made was a 5-gallon wine kit, and I'm like, holy crap, how am I ever going to drink this all? And, oh my god, that's a lot of bottles, and oh my god, what am I going to do, and how do I do all of this? And I moved into, I did a lot of 1-gallon batches of small things because I was working with fruits that were difficult to process or difficult to get a lot of. Stuff like red currants and, raspberries that I picked myself, that type of thing. And so I did a lot of 1-gallon batches, and a lot of them turned out really well too, but I found that I didn't end up with enough. So my personal preference is 3-gallon batches. Because
I was like you when I first started looking at a gallon. I'm going, I'm not going to wait for a year to drink that because it'll be gone the first night I open it up.
I know, right? All my friends will be here, and it'll be like, that's only 2.5 bottles. Really? That's hardly worth it.
I don't even need friends.
Yeah.
Well, I do, but
yeah, I do too.
The thing is, with a 3-gallon, I have trouble lifting a 5-gallon carboy. I'm little. I admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how many horse buckets I had to fill, I still have trouble picking up the full 5-gallon carboys. And they're made of glass, and if I drop one of those, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I like the 3-gallon size.
I can do it. You're right, 3 gallons is a lot more doable, but I can lift a 5-gallon. The only time that 5-gallon is going up above the floor is when it's time to rack. And so I just time that so the husband's home and can help me. You
can't always pull out the husband card.
Well, no, that's true.
And sometimes you don't want to, but
that's very true,
5-gallon batches are doable. But I found myself that as a beginner, 3-gallon batches were just the right size because they give you about a case.
That's true, yeah. And
it gives you about a case, and that's enough to figure out how it works when it ages, and it's big enough that you're not going to be subject to sudden temperature fluctuations, and you can lift the damn thing.
Well, your friends can help you drink it, and there's enough to go around.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're you guys, and then it's okay.
But then you're
when
only
you were
watching
talking, I was thinking I'm fortunate because I'm still able to lift a 12-gallon carboy. I don't necessarily like to, but I went from making like 4 or 5 single-gallon batches to 3s, and then right away I jumped up to 5s, and now I make it in a trash can in my bathtub.
Oh, my God. Yeah, in a couple of weeks we got John Talkington, who Birmingham Meadery, but he's also really active as a home mead maker. And he's like, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of the guy, but he's a big bear of a guy. I mean, he's just built like rawr, And apparently he's quite the weightlifter because dude can deadlift a 400-pound barrel.
Well, I watched
it's like he was doing it one day, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I have a 15-gallon demijohn, and I calculated it. That thing full weighs more than I do.
Yeah.
And it's one of those really thin glass ones in the basket,
Those things will break if you look at them hard. They're beautiful, but I hate to have them because they're so breakable.
Well, I have it perched up on high, and I fill it from I stand milk crates up on the desk, and I siphon into it from my 5-gallon buckets.
My dream kitchen has shelves where the mead is on the shelf, depending on which shelf, depending on where it is in the stage.
what stage it's in.
Right, yeah, so it starts out like...
So you ferment on your top shelf.
Yeah,
and you
ferment on the top shelf and then keep moving it down until it's in aging and then it's underneath the cabinet, right? So I don't know. In my mind, that's how it works. In reality, probably not so much.
Of course not.
Because, eventually we have to sell this place and I can just see the potential buyers going,
what the hell?
What the hell's with this kitchen? Because there's all these carboys lined up on different... And my husband just doing a face palm and going, there goes another one,
That's great.
So, yeah, but, I mean, what should we do next week? I mean, we're after 11, here we go again. We're just going to make the show till we're going to like 4 o'clock in the morning. And
yeah.
Well, I'm sure a lot of listeners are probably going, come on, man, let's get on to the meat. I don't want to just sit and listen to a bunch of chatty Cathy's.
I know.
So for you guys, I'd like to speak to you, who's ever out there going, come on, let's get on with it. We will. We will be giving you very good information along the way. I expect we'll start at the very beginning and each week talk about the process, and then the following week we'll be talking about the very next process, and so over a period take notes, and I'm sure we'll be posting them on the web and whatnot, but we're going to step you through from the very beginning to the time where you put your stuff in a bottle or a keg, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. We come up with a 3-gallon beginner's mead batch that everybody can make.
Ooh, I like that.
I can take that right out of my brew log, my very first traditional.
All right, so okay, so I will. I've got email addresses for both you guys, I think.
Yeah.
Manny and Ryan.
Could somebody send it so that all 4 of us have each other's emails, and that way we can correspond with each other?
Yeah, I was just gonna send it. Send an email to all 4 of us, and then that way we can just kind of keep that conversation going. And,
sure.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, guys. So here's your listeners out there. Here is your assignment. Should you choose to accept it, and this recording will self-destruct in 5 seconds, so you might want to get ways away after you listen to this. For those of you old enough to remember Mission Impossible, which is probably less than half the listening audience.
Actually, Inspector Gadget did it too, so those of us who are a little younger.
So I whip out my shoe phone and never mind.
Charlie's Angels too.
Yeah, I had that hair. I had that hair in high school, honestly. Okay, so your job, should you choose to accept it, our dear listeners, is GotMead. GotMead Live's new show, Making Good Mead Back to Basics, is all about creating... You gotta learn to spell, AJ. Give the girl half a bottle of mead she can't spell. There she goes.
Shut up.
She's typing stuff to me. She's like going, fucking okay, whatever. Okay. Anyway, so your job, our dear listeners, is to email us at gotmeadlive@gotmead.com with questions you have about during the process. And we may not get to them in the very next show because we're going to try to do this in kind of a linear way. Obviously,
we'll try.
There's going to be sidebars and we'll be going off into the woods every now and then. But
we'll go off on tangents every show. I'm pretty much guaranteeing that.
Because you guys have heard how we do things around here. So, but the thing is, though, is that what we want to do is create something not just for beginners. You guys that are out there going, oh my God, great, we're going to get a step-by-step. Yes, you are. But for those of you that have been doing this for a while, you don't know everything. I don't know everything. AJ doesn't know everything. Even Oscar and Ken Schramm, ask him, don't know everything. There are things you haven't learned or things you learned wrong. I know I find out things I learn wrong every single day in my life as well as in mead making. So,
and I just have plain old bad habits.
Exactly. We've got to retrain AJ completely. She's just, So, but
at least I know I have bad habits.
Yeah. See, I have Pete. I just call him up and go, Pete, I was going to do this, and what should I do? I'm not stupid.
And he whacks you with a rolled up newspaper and carries on.
He does. Yeah, he whacks me with a rolled up newspaper, tells me what to do, and then yells at me when I don't follow directions. So, because I don't, I'll be like, well, I did this, and he's like, that's not what I told you to do. So, anyway, guys, send us your questions, gotmeadlive@gotmead.com. And what we're going to do is we're going to collect all of that and use that to help create this whole process of let's create great mead-making habits that will help you create great mead. Okay? And the idea being that we're going to try to help people not just create those good habits, but to learn new things that might help you make better mead next time. So, who knows? And if those of you out there listening want to join in the conversation, we are here. And you are welcome to join in the conversation at any time. Always watch the show page. We got new stuff, cool stuff coming up. And we always take callers. You just have to call in and join in. And, I never know who's got something cool to offer. You guys are out there, so I can't know. I'm not psychic, so, give us a holler. I got Luis is sending me some good stuff, sending pictures of his mead.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll have to forward this to you guys. So that being the case, I think it's time we kind of wind things up, and say good night until next week. Are you guys going to come back next week?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yay! Cool, we have a team. Awesome.
Great. I'm looking forward to the next few weeks getting this done.
We're going to have fun. And I think we've got 3 more shows before we come up on a break, and then we take a couple of weeks off to kind of regroup and find the people for the next 8 shows. So it gives us time to write. We all have real jobs, so we can only write so fast.
I'm so glad I only have half a real job.
I know. I've got like 2 real jobs plus a couple of foundations that I work on. So it's like, my God.
I got 3 more part-time jobs on top of the half a job.
There you go. Yeah. So, I've got a couple of call-outs here, and one final PSA, if you will. Did you guys know that, and this is to those out there, I know you guys already know this, in addition to running GotMead, I'm actually a marketing specialist. So my company is Craft Beverage Marketing, and I specialize in working with craft beverage companies like mead makers, cider people, beer makers, winemakers, and spirit creators to find the best and most profitable ways to reach their customers and turn them into raving fans who are going to buy your stuff as fast as you can make them. So that's my job. That's what I do in my real life when I'm not running GotMead. So I can help you guys. If you're wanting to be a professional craft beverage person, regardless of what kind, or if you're already one, I can help you create and execute the plan to make that happen. So, if that sounds like something you might want to check out, go to craftbevmarketing.com. That's craft bev, not beverage, craftbevmarketing.com, and grab a free session with me and let's have a conversation. Let's talk. I'm pretty sure I can give you some good ideas right out of the gate that will help you sell more of your stuff. So give me a holler. And my phone is 919-554-4625 if you just want to call me directly to set something up. I'd love to hear from you. I want to do this. So that's my little PSA, and hey, it's my show. I get to do that, right? Yeah, right. It's good to be GotMead sometimes.
It's good to be queen.
It is, yeah. Upcoming events. We have Mead Free or Die is April 30th, end of the month. So this is one of the biggest mead competitions in the country. It's like literally right behind the Mazer Cup for size, and it gets bigger every year. So it's a great competition, both home and professional meads. I'm sure I think there probably may still be looking for stewards and judges. So if you like the idea of stewarding and judging, give them, touch base with them and see. Entries you'll have to check. I'm not sure of the exact dates. So check them out at meadfreeordie.com. That's meadfreeordie.com. It's in New Hampshire, so, the whole state motto. And then there's a tasting coming up this weekend. Want to taste some great meads. The Nano Beer Fest. I love this. Teeny tiny beer fest. Nano Beer Fest. Is a tasting event for small local breweries, cideries, meaderies, and more. And it's on April 9th and 10th this weekend at John's Marketplace in Multnomah Village in Portland, Oregon. That's Multnomah Village in Portland, Oregon. Find them on Facebook at Nano Beer Fest. They're going to be pouring Happy Bear, a spiced apple session mead, and Happy Troll, a blackberry raspberry session mead. So, interesting stuff there. I wish I was going to be in Portland. It sounds like fun. And then next guest next week is Robin Kosairos. And Robin, you can beat me up later if I just mangled your last name. I apologize. Owner of Viking Alchemist, which is a North Georgia meadery. And, of course, the next installment of Making Good Mead, Back to Basics, with AJ, Manny, and Ryan. So, we'll be having fun with that. So, that being said,